Akosia Adetian coming up this afternoon. Tarkwa Nsuaem MCE faces removals, demands over his inaction on Galamsey activities. We'll speak to the coalition against illegal mining. And as well in the bulletin, police on manhunt for gunmen who stormed Sampa in the German North District of the Bono region yesterday, unleashing terror in a violent clash that left several injured, including police officers. We have details as well in the bulletin. NPP Ashanti Regional Chair and team of lawyers arrive at police headquarters for high-stake meeting with police CID ahead of charges over illegal mining. We have details as lead lawyer for Chairman Wontumi warns against any attempt to revoke his client's police inquiry bail. And as well in the bulletin, Food and Beverages Association, Guta and plastic manufacturers slum ACG and Ghana Water as leaking baskets, demanding 30-day executive reforms over waste, corruption and soaring tariffs proposals. We're live on DSTV, channel 421 and GoTV, channel 125 and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. Please stay for details. We appreciate your company this afternoon. First in the news, Tarkwa Nsuaem Municipal Chief Executive Ebenezer Kobina is facing mounting pressure to step down amid allegations of turning a blind eye to widespread illegal mining activities along the Tarkwa Highway. Dr. Engineer Kenneth Ashigbe, convener of the Coalition Against Illegal Mining, had spearheaded the call for Kobina's removal, citing the MCE's apparent failure to address the issue despite its brazen nature. Large-scale Galamsey operations having spotted in the Sampa township, with Ashigbe questioning the MCE's ability to tackle the issue. Dr. Ashigbe believes Kobina's inaction undermines the president's commitment to combating illegal mining. Now, meanwhile, JoyNews has been exploring satellite imagery to uncover the extent and impact of illegal mining in the municipality. Well, let's have a conversation with Dr. Ken Ashigbe on the back of this. Doc, thank you for joining us this afternoon. And again, in your call against the fight against illegal mining, you have asked that this MCE be removed. And it's been a few hours since you made this call. Do you still stand by this call?
I stand by this call, and it is not only just him. I'm saying what our position is a very principled position. It was in the paper that we submitted to His Excellency, the President. You know, one of the initiatives of this current government is the fact that they have given KPIs to our district municipal executives who are in this mining community. These are the people who are representatives of the President in this community. The minister at the when the President met the CEOs talked about the mining community, the mining committees that were going to be set. When they do that, it's the municipal or the district CEO that would be the chairperson. And these people, again, they are either the MUSEC, the municipal security committees, or the district security committees, the chairperson. Right. And so when you have these people representing the president in these municipalities, and the president has given them a charge to fight Galamsey, and I can see, you know, driving from Tarkwa yesterday to Tarkwa, before you enter the Sampa town, you can see excavators on your right-hand side, you know. And so I was speaking to the driver who was bringing me, and he tells me that it's a common practice. And so as we drove, getting close, you see a lot of it, you know, on the side of the road. And he tells me that if you go in there, it's nothing. The sad bit is that most of the people who are involved in this are not indigenous Sampa people. Right. There are people who have come from outside and are doing this. So it is important that the municipal chief executives and the police commanders in this place be held responsible and accountable for it. If there are any activity they are doing that, you know, then let's see that. But if not, they should be dismissed for incompetence. And again, His Excellency should investigate them for complicity. And not only should we end it at just the municipal chief executive and the police commanders and the National Investigative Bureau people, the chiefs, whose land is that happening? If I had gone into that Sampa community and taken a cutlass and hoe, going into any of those communities wanting to farm, some chief will come and say it's their land. So that land that has been destroyed by those excavators and on those water bodies that have been impacted, those lands should be confiscated to the state. And the chief should be investigated for complicity. We need to find out, tracing the money, illicit financial flows and all of that. And if the chief is found to be complicit and not only just incompetent, then the chief should also be investigated. And we should throw the Act 995 at them.
Well, it's been days since you met with the president on Friday. Would you say that after some days and these engagements, you see that the political will is showing up or not?
Well, again, you see, you need to give the president the benefit of the doubt. This thing had happened on Friday. For us at the coalition, what we then did, like the Catholic Bishops' Conference also did, was that we presented a paper which we had shared with you, the media. So we definitely need to give the president and the minister some time. I know for a fact that NIMOS, the deployment for NIMOS is going on and all of that. But we need to make sure that, government officials who are sabotaging His Excellency's will to crack the whip are also dealt with. And we need to also make sure that if there are any politically exposed persons who are preventing this government, appointees from doing their work, they also should be exposed. So I think it's early days. But fortunately, what the president did in closing the session is inviting all of us, the media, civil society, Ghanaians, to join this particular fight. And then also he promised us that there's going to be we're going to continue to do this. So the issues about monitoring and evaluation is important. The minister was also clear. He said, if you see something, say something. So I'll urge everybody, the same way that multimedia is investing money to go into these communities and expose, these environmental criminals who are behind this. Anybody who sees anything, please share it. Share it on social media. Send it to anybody else who also can work on it. And let's get to work on it. Currently, there's one situation happening in the Western North that has been brought to my attention. That definitely I'm going to get multimedia to look into. I have shared that with the NIMOS team as well. Okay. And I'm pretty sure NIMOS would also be getting on the back of it. We should make it, as the NIMOS commander said that day, we should make Ghana an uncomfortable place for these criminals who are the people who are funding this, not the people in the pit. The criminals who are funding this, we should make Ghana a place that they will not want to stay.
I will let you go, but I want to get to know how you're feeling about comments such as the one from Standogbe. I see that you have responded to it, but comments like this, do they demoralize you or they still encourage you the fight against illegal mining?
For me, as a person, I'm not too sure that will have any impact. The only challenge and the reason why I responded to the comments is basically for you, the journalist. We've been doing this since 2017, and so I want you all to know that what we were doing in the past was not because we were against any particular government, and neither again are we against this particular government. And we should bear in mind that His Excellency the President himself has invited us to do this. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has never stopped asking all of us to join. So let's not be worried about that. But you all know, and everybody knows, that when I was in Koforidua on the same platform with His Excellency, the former president, asking him about contact mining, I was not doing that because I was against the MPP. Neither was I doing that because I was for the NDC. So I am not. There's no partisan thing so far as this is concerned. There's no negativity. The only challenge is that you and I, as Ghanaians, we're dying. And so what all of us can do to support this is what we should do. But I think that, we should not worry too much about that. It is Mr. Standogbe himself, me and him, he knows it. We have felt that, when we used to work together, this government will come and say, you're against me, the other government. So it is not new. And so for me, I would not take that to heart at all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on the news. We shall bring you the area view a bit later in a subsequent bulletin. But still on illegal mining, the Environmental Protection Authority, EPA, says it has proposed a groundbreaking technological solution to address the devastating impact of illegal mining on rivers. The authority plans to introduce a copper-based nano liquid which laboratory tests have shown to effectively de-chemicalize and purify heavily contaminated water bodies. The piloting phase is expected to cost approximately $200,000. Speaking on the probe with Carlos Kaloni, EPA Chief Executive Officer Professor Nana Brown-Kluche expressed optimism that Galamsey-induced pollution can be reversed. She highlighted that the innovation demonstrates how science and technology can repair years of environmental damage.
Thus, we know that the technology is available, it's proven. Particular application of this technology is also proven. We have seen examples in Greece. You have seen some in the US, in Israel, in Turkey, wherever. But this has been tested in Greece, I have seen for myself. We have done the test in the lab. So the EPA advised the government that this, we have tested, it works, and it's doable. All we need is the financial means to do this procurement.
How much is it going to cost the taxpayer? We've seen billions of dollars for the US one.
Yes.
Have we quantified yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
But to do a pilot to show to Ghanaians and even the presidency that this is doable, we need 200,000 USD.
Well, so many countries, including the US, have explored the use of de-chemicalized process to purify their contaminated water bodies. And I shall be showing you on your screen now the overview of that. Now, the fight against illegal mining, we're showing you the ugly. Well, we've been telling you the turbidity level, but for water turbidity in central region, which has been the focal and the focus point in our conversations, it's 94,800 NTU. Between that and then the Setre Heman water plant has 14,000. It tells you that the Kwenyaku water plant, as of September 2025, is the highest level of NTU. However, the recommended is 2,000. So you can understand where the Kwenyaku water plant really is. We have also shown you the overall view of it in the central region. But let's talk about the de-chemicalization initiative, which has sparked a lot of conversation. Now, there are new chemicals that have come that allows you to treat water and take out the toxins and the heavy metals. The president has been speaking. And as well, the Lands Minister says that we have also part of initiative focusing on de-chemicalization, the water bodies, and making sure we protect these water bodies. It continues to say, but corporate Ghana must come and support collectively in the fight, especially reclaiming our water bodies and de-chemicalization program. It is very expensive, a very expensive undertaking. Let's look at the global outlook. It says that for a large-scale de-chemicalization feasibility, whether it is feasible or just a wishful thinking, here's a global background. Globally, several countries have attempted large-scale river decontamination and says that the focus area would be heavy metals, industrial influence, mining waste, and chemical residues. It continues as well to say that de-chemicalization often combines chemical, physical, and biological methods to at least 1, coagulation, chemical precipitation, ion exchange, absorption, bioremediation, and dredging as well. All of these are key technologies that are used if you want to go into the de-chemicalization, and still answering the question of whether it is feasible or just a wishful thinking for us as a country. However, in the US, Project Detroit River, for the pollution type, it was heavy metal PCBs, and the technology that was used was dredging plus chemical precipitation with amount of 1 billion USD. And as well, the success rate, 80% contaminant removal. And here's the global outlook again. For USA again, Project Passaic River, the pollution type was dioxin metals, and the technology that was used was dredging plus cupping, and it cost $1.3 billion as well, with a 75% success rate as well. Still looking at the global outlook as to whether we can as well de-chemicalize. If we go to Turkey, Golden Horn, the pollution type was industrial and sewage. The technology used was dredging and aeration, and the amount that was used was $800 million, with a 90% success rate of recovery. And in China as well, they used a rare earth mining waste as well to de-chemicalize the project, technology, chemical and biological, with 5.5 billion USD used, with 70% success rate as well in China. And for Africa, Save Water Africa, Mozambique, the pollution type was organic and heavy metals, and the technology was electrochemical oxidation, with 3 million euros used, and that was 60 to 70% success rate for Africa, right here at Mozambique. Now, the challenges that we're likely to face, if it's not just a wishful thinking, will be high capital and energy cost, complex chemical mixtures in rivers, and also for the time, full recovery may take decades, even when we spend all these huge amounts of money in trying to de-chemicalize our water bodies. Well, for Ghana, we have over 18 rivers polluted by Galamsey activities. And so we're going to be needing some huge amounts of money to be able to de-chemicalize these rivers, these 18 rivers, if it's not just wishful thinking and if it is feasible. And this is why the Lands Minister has been asking that corporate Ghana and everybody should as well support the fight against this de-chemicalization. But away from that, police in the Bono region have launched a manhunt for gunmen who stormed Sampa in the German North District yesterday, unleashing terror during a violent clash that left several injured, including police officers. The violence, which broke out at the Sampa main market between rival factions, quickly escalated into heavy gunfire exchanges. Police rushed the scene to restore order, but their intervention was met with sustained fire from the armed groups. Now, I'll read to you the police statement from that area. It says that the Bono Regional Police Command has restored calm at Sampa following a violent clash between two rival factions, Somadua and Sangba Jafia, which erupted at the Sampa market on Sunday, 5th October 2025 in the Bono region. It goes on to say, police received a distress call on the same day reporting an exchange of gunfire between the factions, which also resulted in the burning of several stores in the market area. A team of police personnel was immediately deployed to the scene and to escort a Ghana National Fire Service tender and an ambulance which is conveying a pregnant woman to a hospital. The police team, however, got caught up in the exchange of gunfire from the armed groups. Some officers sustained gunshot injuries, and the service vehicle with registration number GP686 veered into a ditch during the crossfire. The injured officers were rushed to the Sampa Government Hospital for medical attention. 7 were treated and discharged, while 1 officer who sustained a head injury has been referred to Komfanoche Teaching Hospital in Kumasi for further treatment. And as our patrols have since been intensified in Sampa, and the situation remains calm. The Bono Regional Police Command assures the public that every effort is being made to arrest all individuals involved in the disturbances. And so that's the update that we have for you from the police following that clash that happened in Sampa in the Bono region. But away from that, Ghana's business community is up in arms against the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, and Ghana Water Limited, with 3 major associations: the Food and Beverage Association of Ghana, Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, and Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association, calling for sweeping reforms. The association has slammed the utility companies as leaking baskets due to alleged waste and inefficiency, and are demanding immediate action to address these issues. The associations want the president to establish a committee within 30 days to tackle challenges such as technical and commercial losses, revenue collection, and operational shortcomings. John Awuni is president of the Food and Beverages Association.
I've invited you here to help us make an urgent and a clarion call to the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, and the NDC government that Ghanaians massively voted for in the last general elections, to immediately elect the reset agenda that His Excellency sold to Ghanaians and which we bought, kickstart at the ECG and the water company, respectively. We are here by warning that approving new tariffs hikes for utilities, especially the ECG and the Ghana Water Company, without deep reforms would be a profound injustice to the businesses and households of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the Auditor General's report year after year and data from the Energy Commission of Ghana reveal that ECG in particular is bleeding money through inefficiency, corruption, and waste. How on earth can a company like that ever make profit? How can tariff ever solve their problems? Every increase in tariffs is like pouring water into a basket, and that is the position of industry. That no matter the amount of tariffs that is put on, that is increased, it will continue to be like we are pouring water in a basket. That basket will never get full. It will never hold the water, and that is what has happened over the years.
President of GUTA, Joseph Obeng, said Ghanaian traders struggle to export goods because of the country's high utility rates and warned that the government's 24-hour economy initiative could fail if the utility situation is not addressed.
It's as important as we don't have to continue to increase and increase whilst businesses suffer the way we are suffering. Does not make us competitive at all. We all realize that we are doing the African Continental Free Trade area, and Ghana is lagging behind. We are not competitive. Our goods cannot even be sold at Togo. It doesn't go beyond the other member states. Why? Because of high cost of doing business here, especially in regards with utility charges. It does not help us. And we should know, the earlier we know, dissect these issues and put it in proper context, we are not going to industrialize, or the 24-hour economy that we want to propagate will just be in a mess.
You're watching News Today. Please stay with me this morning. Staying with us, this is News Today. Now, the embattled Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Chairman Wontumi, arrived this morning at the Criminal Investigations Department headquarters in Accra, accompanied by his legal team, including former Attorney General Kofred Yeboah-Dame and former Asante Akim North MP and Apia Kubi. This high-stake meeting comes after Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine warned that Wontumi would face arrest if he failed to appear before the CID. The investigation centers on Akonta Mining Limited, a company linked to Chairman Wontumi, which is alleged to have engaged in illegal mining activities. Wontumi's lawyer, Andy Apia Kubi, has expressed his client's willingness to cooperate fully with the authorities, describing the Attorney General's warning as unnecessary.
I was traveling the Friday, so I sought leave for us to defer the meeting to tomorrow. Such leave was granted pursuant to the officer involved having conferred with the Director General. So my understanding as at Friday was that we are going to have the meeting tomorrow. Unfortunately, when I was traveling, I was listening to one of the news the stations, and I got information that Attorney General had been invited to the seat of government, and in his report to the President, he had indicated that he would decline our arrangement to come tomorrow, and that we're supposed to report today, failure of which he will instruct the police to effect arrest and bring Chairman Wontumi to Accra. I engaged him, and I realized that there was some communication gap between the DJ's office and the Attorney General's office, for which reason we had these double positions. So I called Chairman Wontumi to inform him of the insistence of the Attorney General to have the meeting today. So we are here today for them to conclude. What I understand is that the Attorney General will conclude his investigations today and issue us a report from the investigation indicating the charges they want to prefer against my client. So we are here to conclude the investigations and be privy to the charges being laid.
Now let's take you live to the police headquarters where my colleague Kweku Asante is there with the details. Kweku, tell me, the clock is ticking. What's happening at the police headquarters?
It's been about 3 hours since Chairman Wontumi and his lawyers entered into this meeting. They haven't come out yet. You see me standing out because the police will not allow us to do our live inside, and so they've asked us to come out, and that's why we are outside the police headquarters as we speak to the specifics. He went in there just about 9:30 a.m. together with Andy Apiakubi for this high-stakes meeting, because what we expect to happen today is for the Attorney General and the Ghana Police Service to conclude their investigation into allegations that Chairman Wontumi Sakonta Mining has engaged in illegal mining in the town on the Miri Forest and other places. And then they will prefer charges against him today. And so we're just about 3 hours into this meeting. They haven't come out. We haven't gotten any update as to what exactly is going on. It is likely perhaps that the police may revoke the police inquiry bill that they gave Chairman Wontumi and rearrest him ahead of pressing charges against him in court either today or tomorrow. We do not know that. In fact, I specifically asked lawyer Andy Apiakubi for Chairman Wontumi that specific question as to whether or not he expects the bill to be revoked. He did say at the time that that would be a bad faith and that would be strange for the police to do, and so he does not expect that that will be done. And so on that score, Chairman Wontumi and his lawyers have been in that meeting for about 3 hours now. They are yet to come out, and then when they do, we'll finally get an understanding of what exactly is happening. And at the same time, the former Attorney General, Godfrey Adame, is also locked up in a separate meeting with the police investigators over allegations that he sought to interfere with administration of justice by asking Richard Japa to lie to incriminate Dr. Kisela Tufosin. So these are two different matters that are currently here at the police CID that are investigating it. You will recall that a couple of weeks back, Richard Japa, who was the co-accused in that criminal trial in the ambulance case, did write to the CID to investigate the former Attorney General for alleged witness tampering. And so today the CID did extend an invitation to the IGP, to Godfrey Adame, I should say, to come in here and face some questions and some interrogation. He arrived here with a very packed legal team that included his two deputies at the time he served as the Attorney General, then Asuna Badapa, as well as Alfred Tuayeboa, as well as Gary Nimakomafo and Frank Davis, all very stalwarts in the New Patriotic Party. They said these are high-stakes matters, that the former Attorney General did not misconduct himself, and that they are very worried about attempts to use the reins of power to intimidate lawyers of the New Patriotic Party. That meeting has also been happening for some time now, and there's no end as we speak. And so two meetings happening concurrently, and we expect that perhaps in the next hour or two, we'll get some understanding of what the conclusion is in those two meetings. MFA.
Interesting, Kweku. So just for clarity, if you indeed saw the former Attorney General, it will be because it's on a separate issue. He's not in the company of the Ashanti Regional Chairman Wontumi at all. They are both there on separate accounts. And as well, what's the area looking like? I do not see party supporters like you usually would see with Yoko and all of that.
Well, a couple of party supporters did come in, a couple of them wearing MPP branded shirts, some of them with Don't Defame Dami on it. And they had a little bit of a scuffle with the Ghana Police Service. They entered the CID premise at the time, and they were all asked to leave. Where we are standing now is outside the police headquarters, because the police have not allowed us to do our live from within the premise. They've asked us to come out. But I can confirm to you that about 2 hours, there were about 10, 15 people who came in wearing T-shirts, Don't Defame Dami, among others, who came in to solidarize with Godfrey Dame. They came in there, but the police CID asked them to leave. And we have been separated from where all that action may have been happening. That is the CID head office, because the police asked journalists to move to the reception area and were not allowed to where the accident were. There were a couple of our colleagues who were still there. We've seen videos from that place where the police were asking them to leave. But yes, MFI, a couple of them have come around to solidarize with Godfrey Dami.
Thank you so much, Kuku, for bringing us updates from the police CID headquarters. Now, the Minister of Education, Haruna Iddrisu, has directed the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to immediately assess and address the salary disparities between medical doctors in academia and those serving under the Ghana Health Service, describing the situation as an unfair labor practice. He acknowledged the urgent need of correction to ensure equity and fairness in the remuneration structure of public service providers. The minister made this revelation after being briefed by the Dean of KNUST School of Medical Sciences on the poor conditions of service doctors under the Ministry of Education face compared to their counterparts in the health sector. Here is a report by Clinton Yeboah.
Professor Akwesi Nkwikosi reviews that the disparity has made it increasingly difficult to attract young doctors to join academia as lecturers and researchers.
Part of the unattractiveness to join faculty is because of the disparity in salary between doctors in the Ministry of Health and doctors in academia. So if you're in the Ministry of Health, your salary is up there. If you're in the Ministry of Education, it's down there. As the saying goes, for teachers, akatuano ewosro. Because of this, our young doctors don't want to join the medical school as lecturers. I call on the CEO of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to help bridge this gap.
The Minister of Education, Haruna Iddrisu, in response, has assured that a review from the Fair Wages and Salary Commission will address the disparities. He was speaking at the 50th anniversary Gandeba of the KNUST School of Medical Sciences.
To the Dean of Medical Sciences, he made me appreciate the disparity and salary gaps or conditions of service between doctors in the Ghana Health Service and doctors at the Ministry of Education. So Nana reported me right. I hurriedly and quickly called the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and I've asked them to evaluate and close the gap and the difference in a manner that is fair and respectful. That will count as an unfair labor practice. I came to play with Dr. Sribwa and his other friend, but thanks to him and others, we worked and gave Ghana codified conditions of service for all medical practitioners. Thanks to him.
For JoyNews, my name is Clinton Yeboah.
You're watching News Today. We have business updates for you. Stay.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the business segment on JoyNews Today with me, Pius Kojobaka. Are you looking to power your home or business with clean, reliable energy? Then don't miss Ride House Energy at the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair happening from October 23rd to 26th at the Accra International Conference Center. We have more for you in this report.
We talk about Ride House Energy, it's all about solar. And then right now we are preaching to the people about hybrid solar. So with the hybrid solar, we combine it with the ECG. So when you come and they install it for you, some of your items or gadgets will be on the ECG and some will be on the solar. So with this process, it will help you save some of your money that you are using on it on your utility bill, that's the ECG bills.
Do you have some of the stuff here so that, I mean,
we have some here.
Let's get closer to have a look at some of them too.
So these are the components, that are the main components when it comes to the solar system. So we have an inverter, so this one is an inverter, and this one too is an inverter. Then we have lithium batteries, this is a battery, and this one too is a battery. Then we have the panels there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yes, that's the panel. So these are the three main components that when you talk about the solar system that we have. So when it Come to Right House, we have designed a special package for our clients purposely for this fair. So you can see we have some packages ranging from 50,000 to 230,000. And these are the packages that you can get it affordable on the solar market. And then it comes with a full installation, everything is involved.
MTN Ghana is boosting youth employment here in the country through an agriculture initiative with a 3 million Ghana cedi vegetable center for excellence at the University of Ghana Farms. The project is aimed at tackling unemployment and promoting modern farming. More in this report.
MTN Ghana, in partnership with the University of Ghana and the pharmacist, has visited the Vegetable Center of Excellence at the University of Ghana Farm to review progress. The 3 million Ghana cedi project, launched in May this year, seeks to empower young people through modern agriculture. Chief Corporate Services and Sustainability Officer at MTN Ghana, Adra Riafe, said the initiative aligns with national priorities in agriculture and helps address youth unemployment.
We like to support national priorities, and one of the key, or some of the key priorities that we see and we all know about our youth unemployment, and we always talk about agric being the backbone of this economy. Young people are looking for jobs. There are no jobs or very few jobs in the formal sector. How do we help them to build their own or create their own jobs and become entrepreneurs? And agric is a good way to do that and a good starting point for entrepreneurship. And so this Center of Excellence, first of all, is to equip the students of this institution so that they can gain some practical experience and also be encouraged to go into agric.
She also highlighted the need for the country to revisit the Operation Feed Yourself concept.
Many years ago, we talked about Operation Feed Yourself, and I think it's important that maybe we go back to those kinds of things that encouraged people to have backyard gardens. And this is what this is all about, that regardless of how much land you have, you can grow something that you can eat and even supply to others.
Co-founder of the Pharmacist Group Limited, Charles Ajiman, expressed optimism that more young people will take up farming as a viable career path. He explained that the project is designed to reposition agriculture as a sustainable future for the youth.
The expectation is that a lot of young people will find farming more attractive and go into it. You know, one thing about agricultural students, once we finish school, we can't go and compete with the guys who did the business administration for the corporate stuff. But we're trying to carve out a career pathway for the young people who study agriculture. And we believe that once you finish school, you have the practical know-how, the exposure, you can start your agribusiness running. You don't have to now go and write CVs trying to tell somebody they are competent enough. The experience we gain here after 4 years should put you on a way to having your own farm business in this.
The initiative is expected to train over 300 young people in vocational agriculture and agribusiness management over 2 years, equipping them with practical skills, access to land, tools, and market linkages to start their own businesses.
That's it for business for now. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Dara will be here at 1 p.m. with Marketplace. Sponsors next with Benaya Dafemekbo.
Welcome to the sports segment with me, Benaya Elom Dapamakwo. Let's start with the Black Stars because they are in camp in Morocco ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the Central African Republic. And only 7 players have reported in camp so far this morning. And these players are Benjamin Asari, Gideon Mensah, Ebenezer Anan, Elisha Owusu, Kwesi Sibo, Prince Owusu, and Christopher Bonsuba. Well, they were the players that were present in the opening session this morning as Ghana regroup ahead of their final phase with the qualifiers with games against the Central African Republic and Comoros. Now, the game against the Central African Republic will take place on Wednesday before the final game will take place in Accra at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now, players like Mohamed Kudus and Antoine Semenyo, they reported later early today. Yeah. And to our next story. The University of Development Studies has returned to Ghana after becoming the first African country to be crowned the champions of World University Games. My colleague, Joseph Ayinga Walter, was at the airport and has more in this report.
The arrival section of the Terminal 3 at the Kojuka International Airport was buzzing with excitement. Songs, chants, and cheers filled the air as students and officials from the University for Development Studies, UDS, gathered to welcome their heroes, the newly crowned FISU World University football champions, back home.
You know, this is history. This is something new. So we are very, very excited. This is why we came all the way from Tamale to come and welcome our players here, and also to take them back to campus and continue the celebration there. So we are very, very excited, and we are proud of them as well.
It feels amazing. I'm really glad for them, and I'm actually happy standing here to have this experience, to see this experience, to actually feel how it looks like.
Proud of our boys. This is just a history and a dream come true. So we are proud of them. We weren't expecting this.
Before this triumphant return, the road to glory had been anything but
easy. It was kind
easy.
of difficult. We spent like 2 months in camp. We started camping in 4th July. It was not easy, but we started preparing very early, and we were very determined that we are going to China to make a difference. We know it was not going to be easy as we went there and saw.
Their story began at African University Games, continued through the Gusa Games, where they secured bronze, and reached its peak with their global triumphant at the FISU World University Football Championship. For each player, representing UDS meant more than just competition. It was an honor, a once-in-a-lifetime experience that will forever remain in their hearts.
It's a great pleasure. After the game, I was on my phone and I saw like a lot of people calling, and I felt like they used to say success has many friends, but failure is an orphan. That was when I began feeling like I'm now someone in my neighborhood. Yeah.
You scored one of the best goals in the world in the FISU Games. That last-minute corner to win Ghana the match.
It was just a goal of my dreams. Actually, when we had the corner, I made my mind that I would try the keeper, because this is not my first time of scoring a goal from corner kick. This is my 3rd time, if I'm not mistaken. So I just tried the keeper, and God willing, I had a goal.
Beyond all the celebrations, Ghana's Minister for Sports and Recreation, Honorable Kofi Adams, commended the team for their remarkable achievements and reaffirmed government's commitment to supporting university sports development.
I want to welcome you back home. Celebrate, because you have done something great. Something no African university, no Ghanaian university has ever done. Your victory have only come to seal, to cement what Ghana is capable of doing, what it is that we have. And
as chants of victory echoed through the terminal, one thing was clear. The UDS football team had not just made history, they had inspired a generation of student athletes across Ghana. Reporting from the Kojuka International Airport for Joy Sports, Joseph Ayinga Walter.
And that's it for the sports segment with me, Benaya Elom Dapamapo. For more stories, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is Showbiz with Shola.
And it's time now for Showbiz. I am Lois Shola Adeyemi. Let's dive into the biggest stories exciting the world. Now, he's been called the voice of Ghana's new generation, raw, restless, and real. From the streets of Konungo to the dazzling lights of the BET stage, Black Sharif has turned his hustle into power and his story into sound. His rise is a force to reckon, and today we bring you 5 things you didn't know about the hitmaker redefining the African music. There's more in this report.
Whoa, no. I pray to God for times like these, that's where my papa. I don't feel like you like OT, I work so hard.
He's
He's one of the hottest names in African music right now. From Konongo to the international stages, Black Sheriff has become a voice for Ghana's new generation. First, his big break came in 2021 with Second Sermon. The street anthem went viral, spreading across Ghana, Nigeria, and beyond, and instantly turned Black Sheriff into a household name.
Oh, yo, yo, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, no, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. What to do me no try? You told me, baby, we outside. I've had it in a bay, so in a can be bitch, let me one.
Second, he's now a global award winner. In 2023, he took home the BET Hip Hop Award for Best International Flow, a recognition that stamped his name among Africa's top rap exports. Third, Black Sheriff's music style sets him apart. He blends drill, highlife, reggae and Afro beats into what fans have dubbed Afro drill. His lyrics often paint pictures of hustle, survival and triumph.
Lord, I'm amazed I don't feel describe my feelings. Give me all the love when I needed you. I'm feeling missing one more. There's a way that you make me feel. I'll be lying if I say I'm not patient enough.
Fourth, his debut album, The Villain I Never Was, broke barriers. With millions of streams worldwide, it confirmed his place as one of Ghana's most streamed artists globally. Fifth, behind the fame is Mohammed Ismail Sheriff from Konongo in the Ashanti region. He proudly references his humble beginnings in his lyrics, fashion and interviews. So, from street anthems to international awards, Black Sheriff has proven that Ghana's sound can travel far. And for fans at home and abroad, these 5 things are just the start of an even bigger journey ahead.
Well, moving away from that, event organizer Nabil Al-Hassan has revealed that the late High Life legend Daddy Lumbo once insisted that Ofori Mponsa be taking off the bill for the Valentine concert scheduled for February 15, 2025. Now, Nabil, speaking on Joy FM Showbiz ATC with Kwame Dadzi, said the request came after arguments had already been reached and preparations were far advanced. He explained that while finalizing the lineup for the show at the Accra International Conference Center Grand Arena, Lumba placed the call through to the broadcaster Sewa Amihe, demanding that Ofori Mponsa be dropped from the performance list.
I mentioned Akwabwa, and he said, "Oh, yeah, Akwabwa self they do some music, so they go release soon." Yeah. Then I mentioned Ofori. Then I mentioned Kofi T, Makola Accra, all those things. We finished them. I said Kwame Eugene. And Sewa said, I do Rapaholic, so I'll see if I can bring Sako there. It was like, oh, I got the Nubamini Bajipa. I was like, oh, I can't promise, but I will just speak to him to see if he will come. And we left. Then we made our first payment. Then publicity started. Immediately the publicity started. One time I was there and I saw Sewa calling me. And he said, Daddy is on the line. There is something going on. So I picked up and he said, Nabil, let us say. I said, yeah. Say, me pesa muyi for free show.
No, I wasn't expecting this one.
One, you see, this time triple strength. I was like, I said, oh, Daddy, that's it. No, say. And guess what? Ofori has been on his show at the birthday party.
Well, and that's it for Showbiz. I am Loishola Ademi. Over to you, MFI Akosiadeti.
Quite interesting there. But thank you yourself for joining us on the news today. I am MFA Akosiadeti. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Please stay for Marketplace. Thank you for watching.